Good morning, everyone. We are continuing here in the words of Rabbi Binyamin Forst in the halachas of KASHRUS. I'm actually in New York today, and I'm sitting in a house that is right across from the shul of Rabbi Forst himself. Perhaps maybe later we'll actually be able to record inside of his shul, but for now, just having it across the street is already a big milo, a big advantage. And he concludes this chapter today with the following words. Din avkas chalav. What about powdered milk? Powdered milk is not liquid. It is powdered down version of milk. Now the understanding is, once again, that if you have milk that is coming from an animal that is tummy, that is not kosher, it's impossible to make it into a powdered milk derivative. And therefore, if that would be the case, there's a very strong reason in halacha to say that powdered milk, even for someone that's makpid on chalav Yisrael, is not going to be an issue. Yeshi itira avkas chalav shel nachem. There are those who actually permit the powdered milk of nachem, of non-Jews, meaning not like we have in America OUD, which means that it's been underneath the jurisdiction of the FDA, and therefore we pretty much 100% certain that there's no non-kosher milk in there. Even the milk that you would get from a non-Jew himself, she'ein ba isser chalav akum, there's not even an isser, there's not even a prohibition of chalav akum over there. Why? Because, once again, as we're saying, it's impossible to make powdered milk out of non-kosher animals' milk. And therefore, if the milk that you got from the non-Jew would end up turning into powder, that must mean then that it's kosher milk. Says Rav Forst, however, you must make sure that there's nothing else that, since he's a goy, you can't rely upon him for his kashrus. You have to make sure that there's nothing else that he added into the ingredients over there that's going to be asur. For example, if you go to the store and you want to buy powdered milk, you have to look at the ingredients and see what else is in there, because maybe he added something that is in fact asur, that's not permissible. However, v'yesh oisim, there are those who say powdered milk is still going to be an issue, even if there's a good, strong side in halacha to say not. Now he brings down here in the notes that it should work out. Mashma sham shebecholav shetachas pikuach memshalti, that if you are in a place where the milk that is being produced is underneath the jurisdiction of the country or the state, which again would be like we have in America under the FDA regulations and rules, which means that there's really should be nothing to be concerned about over there in terms of mixing in non-kosher animal milk. So then he says, in that case, it could be that even if you're makbid on chalav Yisrael, you're strict, you only eat chalav Yisrael, in that particular case, then you'd be able to eat the powdered milk that is in that country. So this would be a heter, I think, that they say for the Dunkin' Donuts that you find in certain areas. I think here in New York you can get it, maybe in Baltimore as well. And that is that Dunkin' Donuts are made with powdered milk. So they're milchiks. I hold chalav Yisrael, so how can I eat it? Because since that the powdered milk is coming from America, and America is under the jurisdiction of the FDA, that means that it's pretty much a certain guarantee that the milk that was used for that has for sure no non-kosher animal milk, and therefore it's going to be permissible for a person to eat. Again, once again, you'll ask your local Orthodox rabbi, if you are a person of Chalav Yisrael, do you rely upon this leniency over here? And because he does bring down in the notes that it's not so clear, not everybody does hold of this, and if you don't hold of Chalav Yisrael, then certainly the powdered milk is going to be not going to be a problem for you at all. And the last halacha that he writes is, Yesh devar ma miyutzarim mechalav. There are certain things that are produced from milk, v'yesh b'hem issa chalav akum, and they will have a problem of chalav akum, of non-Jewish milk. V'yevsha afilu gevinas akum, and it will be even a problem if they're added into the cheese. So then the cheese becomes also the cheese of non-Jews. Vehem casein, whey, lactose, and caseinites. Those are very hard Hebrew words, but Rabbi Forst writes them here. Again, these are all additives that you find in different things. Sometimes it's added to the cheese, sometimes it's added to milk products, and they're like casein, whey, lactose, and caseinites. Those are milk derivatives, and therefore, if you are someone that is makpid, that is strict on Chalav Yisrael, these all have to be from Chalav Yisrael as well. You have to look at the ingredients in food in if they have any one of these or more of these four things that are inside. Because if you are a person that keeps strictly to Chalav Yisrael, then it would be a problem if any of that was in there. And once again, if you don't keep Chalav Yisrael, and you hold by the heter that we have of Rav Moshe Feinstein to eat and drink the milk products of America, as long as it has a hechsher on this, so you know that the ingredients are kosher, then of course that's not going to be an issue. Okay, that is the end of the chapter on Chalav Yisrael. The next chapter that we're going to start, Be'ez Hashem, is Hilchos Gevinas Akum, the cheese of the non-Jew. And that, Be'ez Hashem, we will start tomorrow. Have a wonderful day.